Citation Creation, Paraphrasing an In-Text Citation, Part 2, IDT 995 Scholarly Project, Nancy Olson. The description of learning context. Canvas Learning Management System module with a Captivate tutorial, a PowerPoint presentation, both formative and summative assessments, supplemental materials in the form of an in-text citation guide, and a narrative in-text citation word list. It will follow Gagne's 9 events of instructions with a self-paced web instruction that is designed to gain attention, inform learners of objectives, stimulate recall of prior learning, present the content, provide learning guidance, elicit performance, provide feedback, and assess performance. Steps will be repeated as necessary. The global instructional strategies are standard techniques and programs to ensure that everyone does not have cognitive overload in attempting to understand how to navigate and use the techniques and programs. Clearly delineated learning outcomes so that students understand what we want them to learn. Classroom rules and a discussion component to ensure a learning community is formed. Prerequisite reviews to ensure that those who are low in knowledge on one or more areas can review and become better before proceeding with the tutorial. Both high and low bandwidth versions to ensure that with or without technology, learning can advance. And a primary module with 3 submodules to assist in chunking information. Images and streaming media will be included, as well as APA and MLA formats to include the widest audience of students. Examples, links, and practice will be embedded within the tutorial. A summative rubric and an in-text citation guide for both areas will be included. The instructional plan includes Module 1 and introductory information, where there will be an attention grabber, classroom rules, an introduction, learning outcomes, and prerequisite knowledge. We then move on to Module 2, the paraphrase, where guided assistance, chunked information, images, repetition, formative assessment, a matching activity, immediate feedback, and streaming video all assist with the students' learning. In addition, custom graphics were created, such as the one to the side, saying learning to paraphrase can help you earn better grades. In Module 3, the in-text citation provides guided assistance, chunked information, images, repetition, formative assessment, immediate feedback, and guidance sheets, as well as more custom graphics such as this one here that says, always use in-text citations to avoid committing plagiarism. Moving on to the concluding portion of Module 3, we see the conclusion, a synthesis of concepts, summative assessment, resources, references, and the Creative Commons license. Of course, we have more custom graphics, such as the one to the side that says paraphrase and in-text citation creation. Change for synonyms, change for numbers, change for structure, add in-text citation. The formative evaluation goals and objectives were to evaluate the instructional design, ensure content accuracy, the ease of navigation, and to examine the level of student engagement. To do that, the overarching goal was to teach students how to create and evaluate a paraphrase and how to correctly implement the APA and MLA in-text citation method. In Module 1, they were taught to identify the definition, purpose, and 4 rules of paraphrasing and to utilize a 3-stage paraphrase creation process. In Module 2, they are taught to identify and implement correctly formatted in-text citations. And finally, in Module 3, they learn to synthesize this information by creating a paraphrase with in-text citation. The formative evaluation methods were to use a survey monkey to reach the participants. We had both objective data and subjective data gathered. The participants were 3 subject matter experts, an instructional designer, and 5 students. The expert review protocol was 1/8/2018. Both the formative assessment instruments and the letter of invitation were created, and on 1/9/2018 they were sent to the subject matter experts and the instructional designers. They were also granted permission to the reviewers at this point so they could access the materials. This remained for 10 days, at which point access was removed. The initial data review did show that everyone completed it, and then on 118 we gathered the data into a format for easy analysis and we analyzed it by 121. The experts were subject matter expert 1, an English instructor who was the head of a curriculum committee before he retired. Subject matter expert 2 was a health PE instructor and a distance education experience is vast. Subject matter expert 3 is an early childhood instructor who is the head of the Student Learning Outcomes Committee. And the instructional design expert had over 10 years of experience and is competent in several learning management systems. The learner review protocol was also on 1.8, where we developed the assessment instruments and sent out the letter of invitation. And on 1.9 we mailed them out, and we granted permission. They had a 10-day review period, and then we confirmed that it was filled out by all 5 students. We gathered the data into a format for easy analysis. We analyzed it by 121, and on 122 we uploaded that tutorial to the server. The learners were student 1, who was 23, female, in her second semester, student 2, 24, female, in her third semester, student 3, 22, male, in his first semester, student 4, 58, male, in his fifth semester, and student 5, 28, female, in her second semester. There were 4 surveys with 7 questions per survey. Questions 1 and 2 were on instructional design, 3 and 4 on clarity of instruction, 5 and 6 on difficulty level, 7 on overall constructive criticism. The Likert scale qualifying modifiers were extremely, very, moderately, slightly, and not at all. The revisions to Module 1 were a navigation assistance. We did create 2 slides to assist with navigation. One is the second slide, which auto-advances, and one was placed as the third slide, which allowed navigation to each main module. We also went ahead and fixed 4 new slides to fix the change numbers section to allow for 2 exceptions and approximation rules so that students could do the change numbers better. We could not find the error on slide 8 or the cutoff word, so they were not corrected as they were unable to be replicated. We did fix the streamlined videos by pausing them. That also fixed the restarting the tutorial. We corrected the question number 20, and we added more color. So that was not implemented. And we also did not implement the lost and prerequisite materials. That information is there for a reason. We did look to see, and on several slides where we felt we were speaking too fast, we redid them. We fixed the MLA format so that it would state the correct format on the top, and we did state the definition of et al. The first time that it is mentioned. Finally, for Module 2, we did correct the 2 slides that needed to open in a new tab and pause the presentation. We did the quiz questions 15 and 18. They were too similar, and we did fix those. And we did not correct the examples of in-text citations to paraphrases because the student just hadn't gotten far enough to see that they were there. In Module 3, the buttons need to open in a new tab. We did correct that. We corrected quiz questions 19 and 20, but the repetition of instructional materials was done on purpose, and that was not corrected. On the assessment instrument revisions, we did lower the wordiness of some questions to make them easier to understand, specifically 15 and 18. We fixed questions 19 and 20, and we decided not to allow students more attempts on the quiz. We found that does not work well. Finally, the next steps are going to be that we have uploaded the modified instructional unit on 122. We went ahead and approved it to the classrooms on the same day. They had access to it. It was not removed until 2/2, and then the summative evaluation report was written. That's all that we have for this second one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the flip side.